Sanibonani guys. Busy ngidla yogurt la yengane. I saw a clip. It's a TikTok, but I saw it on Twitter of 5FM DJ Usis Faith Mangope, if I'm not mistaken, and she's talking to a white lady, a life coach, Lee Joy, and he's speaking about how a lot of men have chosen porn over dating. I think one of the points that she speaks about is that she does events where singles go and mingle, and she had done an event for paddle, where people can go, singles can go, and she was saying to over 90% of the people that turned up, were female, and she says within her experience, every time she has these events, she struggles to get single men to these places. And I'm reading the comments, and it seems as if our sisters don't understand what's happening. Amachita understand, but our sisters are oblivious why men aren't dating anymore. They say everything but the truth. Oh, men are scared, men are intimidated, oh, men are this, men are that, men are weak. They say everything but why this is happening. It's not that porn is the problem. It's not. Amachita at all. They would love to date you guys. They would love to have sex and put a dolly into your fucking guava. They would love to. I promise you, they would pick that 100 times over porn. The problem is there's a cost to dating you. There's a cost to putting my little toddler in your guava. There's a cost to that. And guys are starting to weigh it up. Guys are saying, okay, just standard date will cost me, I need time, energy, resource, whatever to get there, and I might still get rejected. I might not get that guava. After I've spent 1,000 Rand, 2,000 Rand, whatever the case may be, my whole evening, she's gotten a free meal. Maybe I might have even Ubered her. So from her, the cost was just her time. For me, it was my time and my resource, of which we all don't have. Yeah, but we all don't have. Because if she had, she would have taken herself out on a 2,000 Rand meal on a random Wednesday. So again, but I'm doing that and I'm paying that, and it's a risk. Rather, let me just bust the nut. Shaipon hapu, ex-vizi, bust the nut, calm down, I save my money. I calm down, the chance of getting rejected has disappeared. There's a huge misalignment that we're having in current society. Because what is happening is that we're seeing the same guys that are sleeping with the majority of so there's a stat that I picked up somewhere, I can't remember where I heard it from. Please help me and Google it. It says, Uguti, of the world's population ever to ever exist, less than 10% of men that have ever existed populated the world. Meaning of 90% of all the men that have ever lived in this world, 90% didn't populate. Between me and my brother, we've got over 10 kids. 2 men, over 10 kids. But I can tell you, Guti, I know 20 male friends in their mid-30s that don't have kids. I can tell you 50. Friends of mine that I love dearly, they don't have kids. Guys that grew up with, guys that have good jobs, they don't have kids. Because for them, there's a cost to that. There's a cost that they're not willing to pay. So guys like me, guys like Tina, umtitilizo for us. So just because you're seeing the same Tina, we're the ones that are dating these 5 girls. They're sharing us, these 5 girls. It's not to see there's 5 guys that they know. That's not what's happening. We're happy to pay the cost, but it's not for everyone. There's different costs. Like, how often do I speak about going to gym and hurting my shoulder or hurting my Achilles or hurting my lower back? I'm always hurt, but I keep going back because I'm happy to pay the cost. There's some people that are driving cars for 20,000 Rand. They're happy to pay that cost. There's some people who are sending money for a car so that their cousins can go to, they're happy to pay their cost. We've got different costs. And again, different returns. Some may not yield a return, much like maybe paying school fees for your younger cousin. We don't know if there's a return there. But again, at least there's a family there. At least there's a this there. So people are willing to pay the cost. Sisbet, generally speaking, are you willing to pay the cost of 1, going and asking a guy out, potentially getting rejected? 2, should he say yes, are you willing to carry the cost of saying, I'll Uber him to the restaurant and I'll Uber him back home? Are you willing to carry the cost of the dinners, the movies, the what, consistently until you guys become an item? Are you willing to do that in a time where we speak about gender equality and fairness and isiyalingana and thinking fast, thinking bogot, and you must get equal pay at work? Are you willing to do that? The general and the average woman, they say no. They're not willing to do that. The man must, the man must. Okay, sharp. The man must is why we're in the situation today. So a lot of you ladies in your later 20s, later or 30s, 40s who are single, guys, it's either you become a side, it's either you become a number 2 wife, it's either you become a number 3 or number 4. But the thing of finding if you're 30, to find a single guy who's 35, who's going to love you and relatively take care of you, it's getting less and less and less. It's not, I'm not saying it in a bad way. It's just the reality. Because me as a 37-year-old, I can date a 25-year-old person that works at KFC. I can date that. That lady for me is a queen. No problem. No problem. If she loves me, respects me, I'll take her. If you are a lady who's making, I don't know, 70K and above, let's just say 80K, let's just say hypothetically, would you be able to date that 37-year-old lady? Are you able to date a 25-year-old who works at a KFC, who works at a petrol station? I'm not talking down. I'm just being realistic. So even the guy who works there, when he looks at you, is going to say there's a cost here. Every man looks, because I know if I'm dating the lady who works at bank, who works at money, there's a cost. There's a cost, and guys are just not wanting to do it. I'm listening to these two ladies trying to unpack the psyche of a man, and they say, oh, men just, I'm like, it's okay to have your opinions about men, but it would have been nice to have a man in the room. It would have been nice to have a man who's had many conversations with other men in the room. I'm not saying women shouldn't talk about men, and you should, and maybe sometimes you can guide each other, but it's nice to always have the opposite sex there of someone who's experienced in that space who can actually give his 2 cents and say, look guys, yeah, I porn, okay, sharp. But again, it's the difference between if there's noodles around in the house and I'm just peckish and I want to eat something and sleep because I'm beyond tired, versus having to go all the way to the shops. I have to go all the way to the shops. Buy groceries in Popo. You're taking a braai pack. You're taking a sagala mazambane. And then come back and come back and can you see? Just make the noodles. Just make the noodles. Chow the noodles, go to sleep. Meet you tired, Ved. Or you're horny. You dead horny. Okay, your horniness might make you drop 2,000 Rand. Versus your horniness, you bust a nut and you go to bed. You chill. You take a 6-pack, you sit at home, you drink. Ube grind or shoopmund. You know, maybe you get like 2 or 3 boys, you guys watch some rugby, nibe grind, you guys go your separate ways afterwards. You don't have to bring people. And now, first date has a cost, second date, now you guys start dating. Now all of a sudden she wants to move in with you. Now all of a sudden you have to buy this and buy that. Now you have to help her with this and help her. Guys are putting all those things together and they're saying, why? Why am I investing in the cow when I can literally get milk? Whenever I need this, I just go drink a little bit of milk. Sometimes the cow comes and gives me milk. No, when they get horny, but okay, sharp. Every now and again. So I don't need to buy the cow. Maintaining the cow is too expensive. The cow is too expensive. The cow might occasionally give me milk, but I know it's cream or it doesn't taste close to being like fresh milk, but it's cream. And every now and again, when I feel like that, he puts a cremora and does. No one's going to open cases for sexual harassment. There'll be a no all rise. There's no mavoso. There's no being accused of rape. All the things that are happening. Young guys, mid-range, old guys, we're starting to think, what are my options? Because I'm taking her out. She wants me to go drop her off at her house. We go inside, we start kissing. All of a sudden tomorrow, she was like, she was too drunk. She didn't give me consent. Nama was drunk. We were all drunk. What the fuck was happening? Like, what? You said I didn't stop you. You said I must take well, I was too drunk to give you. Oh my fuck. Now my whole career and now this and all of a sudden now I'm going to court dates, taking unpaid leave. If I just jerked off, none of this would have happened. The guys are weighing the cost. Boss please understand. I don't know what the fuck movies you guys watched. I don't know who came into your brain, but your cost is way too high. And in your mind, you think it's not. In your mind, you think it's only fair. In your mind, it's what you do. It's really way too high. It's way, way, way too high. Think about this. Think about it. Let's just assume that you are a fucking iPhone 17. That iPhone 17 has been used by 10 other guys. That iPhone 17 you've gifted to other guys on loan for free. That iPhone 17 has had fingers for years and years and years. Now I must pay 45,000 rand as if it's brand new. Guys are like, it's not worth it. Of which I can pay and I can still not get the iPhone 7. Can change its mind. It's not mine. It was just on loan at a 45,000 rand cost, while other guys got it for fucking free. You know, like, think about it logically. Would you buy something where potentially it's not even yours? Could you buy something and pay for something where potentially you have no say over everything? Over nothing. You know, you go, you spend 2,000 rand, there might be zero return. Sitting there and talking and pulling teeth and trying to figure out what your interests are, that might be the one and only date, and then nothing happens. She goes home, you go home. 2,000 rand lost. How many times in this economy can the average guy keep going doing the same thing over and over and over? Because the suggestions that I've done for walks, you guys don't want that. You want a picnic at the zoo that's going to cost me 1.5 for the basket and everything in it, and another 500 bucks for fucking entrance. So even the things that are basic, you guys are overvaluing. Or rather, but it's so crazy because again, it's getting worse and worse. There's in Japan, I heard this stat. They said in Japan, men between the ages of 20 and 30, a third of men between the ages of 20 and 30 are virgins. Virgins. I'm not saying it in like every man must go fuck and what. No. I understand tradition. I understand religion. I get that, but that's not why they are virgins. They are virgins because they're not asking girls out. They're not dating. That's what I'm alluding to. Same thing that's happening in the States. And according to Lee Joy, that life coach, it's creeping in here. It's the same guys. Don't be fooled. If you go to all these clubs, it's the same guys that are buying bottles for the bitches. So that means when I see, just know that you are going to be on rotation for these guys. You're going to be on rotation. That's what it is. You must just know it's number 3 wak. And then be proud in that because he's the only person that can afford your unrealistic costs. It's I can afford myself. Sure, can you afford yourself and another human being? No. That's what you guys put on us. That I must be able to afford myself and afford you. I must be able to already, guys, it's a struggle. You guys know when you talk about adulting, it's so tough. Already I have to fully adult my life and then assist you in your life. Even assisting you at 10% of your expenses is tough, where I'm struggling to assist me at 100%. You get what I'm trying to say? It's already tough for me to assist myself 100%. Now I must take that and then add, of which you guys aren't asking for 10%. You guys are asking for a minimum of 40% assistance. You know, so it's crazy the pressure that is put on men. And it's not shocking with every now and again which is touching down beside him because it's too much pressure and no one listens and no one gives a fuck and the price keeps getting higher and the big ballers keep folding you guys and you guys become fucking losers because you become come dumps to the same guys all the time. It is what it is. Stay single. We'll see you on the flip side, other side of 45 when you guys are miserable. Because right now you think you're the price. Cool. To all my gents, put your head down, bro. Graft. Just focus on you. Focus on your immediate family. Build your bank account. Build your body. Build your mind. You know, Tina Machita, we are a little bit luckier because we've got time. You know, as a 40-year-old man, it's no problem finding a 28-year-old. You know, because Tina Ukumbul, again, you'll be expected to look after yourself and assist her. Whereas as a 40-year-old woman, a lot of them aren't prepared to look after themselves fully and assist the guy. I'm not saying they aren't there. I'm just generalizing. That's what I'm just trying to say. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Guys, and get to lower the cost. Be realistic. Ask yourself, could I do this for someone else? Could I do this for a man? If the answer is no, then you realize it's way too expensive. Lower it to a point of what would I do and pay for another man, myself, and in a man. If you can answer that, then that's what you need to be expecting and what you need to be asking for. But let me know in the comments below. Let's be respectful as best as we can. Share this video far and wide. Guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and all those amazing things. And guys, I'm out.